What makes a job interesting?
For me, the primary driver of engagement is autonomy, the sense that you have genuine agency over how you execute your tasks. When work is overly prescriptive or micromanaged, it becomes mechanical, but being trusted to problem solve taps into our innate desire for mastery. A task as simple as organizing a workflow becomes a puzzle to be solved with creativity, rather than just an obligation to be endured. That said, autonomy alone isn't enough. The work also needs a baseline of variety to prevent it from becoming stagnant or repetitive.
Should people choose jobs for passion or money?
I think it's about finding a sustainable intersection rather than viewing it as a binary choice between the two. Financial strain can quickly sour even the most beloved activity, transforming a passion into a source of stress and precariousness. On the flip side, chasing a high salary in a field you despise often leads to a gilded page, a life of comfort but profound emotional emptiness. Ultimately, your job doesn't have to be a monolithic dream career. It just needs to be engaging enough to fund the things you truly love. How is the job market changing? The most seismic shift we have witnessed is the normalization of remote work, which has fundamentally rewritten the contract between employer and employee. It has transformed the office from a default location where work happens into a space used specifically for intentional culture building and collaboration. This shift has blurred the traditional boundaries between home and professional life, creating new challenges around disconnection and burnout. However, this also means that the talent pool is no longer geographically limited, allowing people to work for global firms without leaving their hometown.
What skills will be important for future jobs?
If I had to single out one trait, it would be adaptability, the capacity to learn, unlearn, and relearn at a rapid pace. In a landscape where the half-life of technical knowledge is shrinking, the specific software or language you master today might be obsolete in 5 years. Adaptability is a meta skill. It's about being comfortable with ambiguity rather than becoming defensive when the industry shifts. Of course, emotional intelligence will remain equally vital, as it is one of the few things that AI cannot yet replicate in a team setting.
Should people change careers?
Absolutely, and I think the stigma once associated with a midlife pivot is thankfully dissolving in the modern era. To cling to a career that no longer fits out of a sense of inertia is a recipe for quiet desperation, especially since our values evolve over time. A successful change should be a calculated move, taking stock of transferable skills rather than making a reckless, impulsive leap. Mind you, the feasibility of a career change often depends on having a financial cushion to weather the transition period.
What is the most important factor in job satisfaction?
If you strip away the perks, I believe the single biggest determinant is the quality of your relationship with your immediate supervisor. A supportive manager who champions your work can make even a humdrum job feel meaningful, whereas a toxic environment will grind you down regardless of the salary. Being part of a cohesive team where people have each other's backs acts as a powerful buffer against the daily stresses of the role. That being said, a lack of professional growth can eventually override even the best social environment, leading to a sense of stagnation.